Habari zenyu brethren. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. And if you're new, my name is Chris Baby, but I was recently promoted to the title of mom, so automatically nikakuwa Chris Mommy, and I believe I'm living up to the name of Chris Mommy. I was chosen by the good Lord to bring forth a beautiful baby boy that I feel so honored to raise. My content cuts across lifestyle, comedy, and motherhood. Karibu sana. Hapa we share our journeys. So that means I really appreciate some engagement pale kwa comment section. Feel free kuchangia hapa na pale, kurusha any inquiry kama iko, and I'll always respond. Before I go on with today's video, I have this Vaseline Intensive Care Coconut Restore Body Oil. Nafanyanga tu una shine, una glow effortlessly, yani I just feel so soft and moisturized, and my skin looks so healthy. Yeah, so ndio hiyo nimewa put on. Okay, yeah, sasa naweza endelea na episode. Today's episode ni about Q&A. That's question and answer. I put up a question tag on my Instagram and I got the answers. It was quite like a month ago. It was on March 2nd. Aki, na struggle na consistency, but I was just finding like how will I say it, like a system that would work. Kupanga content yangu vizuri. YouTube si mchezo, especially if it's a one-man show. I'm doing everything myself and I'm still balancing motherhood. I'm still balancing my other work. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm just explaining. I just feel like I feel obliged to explain kwa nini nimekawia hivyo sana.
You're not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
But yeah, so here's the Q&A, the question and answer. I got quite a bunch of questions. Mezi consolidate nikazi group ndio nisishinde nikirudia one question or the other, nizijibu tu zote mara moja. So question niliulizwa sana ni about content creation. Those questions in how to start, advice for upcoming creators, how to get jobs, and what content to expect from me. Vile nimeanza video, for those who don't know me or those who just found out about me, my content cuts across lifestyle, comedy, and motherhood. So expect to find motherhood content hapa na pale. Expect to find some skits in comedy. You can check out my Instagram reels for that. And lifestyle, generally if I travel, if it's tough to do with my household, if it's tough to do the kitchen, like cooking, cleaning, yes, that's lifestyle. So I guess here nimejibu about what content to expect from me and how to start. Imagine just start with what you have. You don't need to start hiring people, finding this aesthetic. Normally that's a good phone and good ideas. The rest uta learn on the job. I believe with content you learn on the job. Na pia you continue doing more research that will bring forth growth, and it will diversify your mind on what ideas to, showcase. What's your passion? Yeah, kama mimi passion yangu ni act na hizi skits. No wonder I do them effortlessly, I'd love to believe. I'm a dance. I used to dance so well. I really loved to do that, but then nikafika mali nika transition sasa into skits. So starting out, not unless if you have the resources and you really know what to do, we anza tu na kenye uko nayo. You don't have to break the bank. Advice for upcoming creators: stay authentic. Authenticity tu ndio what I'll vouch for any day, anytime. At the end of the day, your humanness yako ndio watu wanataka kuona, pia ndio watu wanataka kufeel pia, so don't take that away. Sawa? Akina kwanga briefs. Sijuangi ku expand kuingia into details. I'll just state juju, but hoping that the message is home na imesaidia mtu. Now, how to get jobs. This is what I was told. You never know who's watching. The more unaendelea ku put out your content, there's always a client out there or an agency out there that's on the lookout for a certain creator, and it might be you. Consistency, just to be consistent. There's what we call blind tagging. You might be targeting a certain brand, or you might like a certain brand, so you start doing content. You're not being paid for it, but unawa tag too. Can be in your stories, maybe when you're using their product or their service. In your content, you just come up with UGC content, user generated content, while you are using or enjoying a certain product or service. Na unawa tag, and you never know, they may just come for you. Proposals, you could send emails or direct DMs kwa Instagram to a certain client that you like, or that you like to endorse their product or service. Shoot your shot kabisa. Don't be afraid of shooting your shot. You never know. If anything, kama kuna kitu clients wanapenda ni hiyo courage. Yeah, if you can afford a manager, or it's nice to have a manager to represent you, to kukuletea deals, kukuletea jobs. At the end of the day, you really have to put in the work. You really have to stand out. Kujituma tu ni lazima hii industry. Jua niche yako ni gani. Audience yako inabambikanga ukiput out what kind of content. Usikuwe wewe umeivia kupika content. Audience yako inapenda content ya kupika. Huko unafanya reviews za gari. Unaona hazi align. Moving on, I also got a couple of questions on finance. Nilikuwa mostly on how to invest, how to save. So, mimi mwenyewe, of course, I've been doing it responsibly, I'd like to believe. And especially now that I have a baby, lazima my finances iko in order, yeah. Kuna quite a number of ways that you can choose to invest your money. MMFs, kuna kubuy shares, kuna bonds, kuna circles. I can't go into details, ndio nisipeane information yenye, or rather naweza sema kitu na intend kusema kitu vizuri but itatoka inaccurately. So you can do your research on shares, on bonds, on money market funds. Kitu ingine enye it works for me, kukuwa na financial discipline is budgeting for my money. Pesa yangu ikiingia na make sure enda kwenye nafaa vizuri, and saving. What I cannot insist more on saving. Save. Kwanza industry yetu kuna times huwa kuna kauka. Na kukikauka you need some cash to survive. You know, we have bills. I have a baby. A whole... Okay, sawa short ya mimi ndo nilie. Pana kitana nikapata mtoto. Ahlelas. And kitu pia inanibamba nowadays ni ati kuna some creators who niche yao ni finance, kama Susan Wanjiko. They give out gems on finance, hapa na pale, what you can do for your money or what is currently working in this sector ya finance. So you stay educating yourself and moving with what is working currently. And also depending on where you are. Usikoko like 10 to 50,000 na unataka kuinvest. Okay, kuna some minimal amounts zenye unaweza anza nazo like kwa hizi saving apps ama kwa MMFs, but you really have to do it like in a very smart way. So at the end of the day bado unabaki na kitu ya kufall on, ya kulipa bills na ya just to survive generally. Oh, and have an emergency fund. That is also super important. Like set aside some money when the dry season hits or when you need cash urgently na juu kwenye utatoa, instead of kukimbilia kukopa, uko na do yako ya emergency yenye umeiweka kando. Another question was on younger people and starting over, and the questions were advice for feeling stuck, young moms feeling isolated, or just someone generally starting over. So first of all, kwa hizi vitu zote, feeling stuck is just a season. If there's something I live by, ni ati kuteseka ni kwa muda. Na for sure kuteseka inakuanga kwa muda. I have experienced it, and you just have to stay hopeful, and you have to have faith in God that He will deliver you out of that situation that you're in eventually. Young moms feeling isolated. I think I've felt this in my motherhood journey so far, but if I'm being honest with myself, si ati juu nilizaa ati sasa life ya mabeshti wangu inafaa kupelekana na vile yangu iko. No, they have their own things, they have their own lives, so yao itazidi tu kusonga. Mine might feel a bit slower because I have a kid. Hapa lazima tu nikuwe very patient, very focused on my kid, and it's so hard and humbling at the same time. So utafeel ni kama mabeshti wako wanakuwa isolate, ni kama hawaelewi ama hawa come through vile unafikiria inafaa, which you're supposed to communicate on how you think your friends can help you out. So in real sense, you're not being isolated. You're just in a season where feels like isolation, but it's not isolation in real sense. If you have a good community, they'll know when and how or where to reach out and help you out. Itafika tu mahali mtu yata grow na utarudi kuwa flexible, utarudi ku socialize back to how you used to do it. It might not be exactly the same, but utarudi tu eventually. That is me najambia hivyo pia mimi. Ni kwa muda tu. I just have to pour into my son and pour into myself as well, and extend so much grace because I'm doing this for the first time. Sindio? Yeah. Someone starting over. Imagine, hakuna time ati uko limited ku start over. Hakuna, you can start over at any point. Heri u start over kuliko ubaki kwa situation yenye uko. Get up, dust yourself, find other ways, refine your methods or your ways that used to work for you, and njia itafunguka tu. Njia haifungukangi kama umeketi. Njia lazima ifunguke kama una move, kama una make some steps. Kunradhi Ustadh Wangari. Like I told you guys, I'm not that deep, so I'll just speak juju, and I hope the message is clear. You're allowed to rebuild your life anytime you feel like it, anytime you feel like you need to input other systems just so you can advance to the next phase of your life, or you can improve your life generally. Unajua mtu akaangi place moja for a long time, unajichallenge pia, una take another step forward, and you're not behind. Please, journey yako ni personal, so let no one tell you that you're behind, or don't think that you're behind. Sawa, uko mbele kwenye uko. Ukitengeneza, ukimekea step moja, that's a step ahead. We move on to friendship. the commonly asked question was how to get genuine friends. But let me open up and be vulnerable kidogo. So I happened to lose a number of friends when I was pregnant. Friends who would have made such great aunties, and unfortunately they were ladies. They happened to be ladies. I take full responsibility of the role I played in, you know, this friendship breakups. Hakuna kai breakup, okay, a romantic or a relationship breakup with a man in Umanga, but with ladies or with your lady friends. Hey, I experienced it nikiwa pregnant uko my first trimester uko. Wow, iliniuma. I used to cry for days, you know. Ile unajua ume lose a very precious relationship, a very precious bond. I won't get into much details, but yeah, I did lose on some friends. I take accountability on the part I played in, you know, falling out with them. And then such is adulthood. Watu tuna grow, tunakuwa very diverse. Some relationships are meant to die. You're meant to move on to some other people, to some new people, or with other people, and you're meant to like leave others behind. Behind. No, like hawako into your life as you progress, as you move on to the next phases of your life. So yeah, nimekuwa na friendship character development. Kuna walinikosea, kuna wenye nilikosea, poleni kwa wenye nilikosea. Such is life, and we move. Yeah. Now on to motherhood. Of course, I got questions on motherhood. So how is motherhood so far? Doubts of not doing right. Did you like the gender? Flat tummy after CS. Did you do a scan? Culture shocks. Does it affect your work schedule? Does it affect your work schedule? Motherhood won't affect my work schedule if I input the right systems or the right routines. Masaa ya kazi ni ya kazi, masaa ya motherhood ni ya motherhood. So no, motherhood doesn't affect my work schedule, not unless something comes up. And my son is my priority, of course. So if something comes up, niteka kazi kando, I tend into my son, or I take care of what it is that may come up with my baby, okay? Culture shocks. Culture shocks is a motherhood. I don't think I've experienced any culture shock so far at the moment. And if I have or I did, I can always address it some other time. But did you do a scan? Scan ni lazima mtu afanye. I want to think so. Scan ni lazima ufanye ndo at least uone vile baby ana grow, vile ana develop. I think kutoka 15 weeks hapo kuendelea ni lazima tu ufanye scan. Na sasa every other time you go in for your clinic unafanya scan ndo wanapima height ya baby, wanapima weight ya baby, heart rate, brain yake vile ina develop, so that they can also detect any disorder or anything, any alarming thing. So scans are quite important, and yes, I did all of them. Flat tummy after CS. Okay, you guys, I'm always getting this question. Ati nimekuwa na flat tummy. Sina flat tummy, to be very honest. Genes. Mamangu alikuwa ameniambia, na pia nili witness first hand after she gave birth to my sister. Alikani kama ame snap back, but it's not ati flat. It's just okay, if I may say so. So yeah, mi sina remedy ya flat tummy. Yangu neza sema ni genes. It's not as big as it looks. I mean, it's not as big as how tummy looks when after moms have delivered. But to like get back into shape, I'm giving myself some time and some grace as well, because it's not really pleasant kama ulikuwa flat before alafu kijangalia uko na katumbo hapo. I'm not saying it's bad. Mi nasema tu preference yangu. Naweza taka tu kurudi to that body. So stretch marks pia aki sina remedy. Na hizo zote unazipatia tu time. Once your body fully heals or recovers, you can always get back to working out. Kuna mafuta, shea body butters, kuna kama Vaseline cocoa butter ndo mupaka mostly, especially on my scar whenever I feel like itchy, paka and I feel okay. Did you like the gender? If I'm being honest, I really wanted a boy. I really wanted a boy, because creative baby girls ndio wengi, so having a son, that means he's automatically special. First son, first grandson, first great grandson, first nephew. Come on Jojo. My Jojo is all that and more. So yeah, I really loved the gender. Not to say that kama ningepata girl ningesikia vibaya, ingekuwa tu sawa, because again tuko baby girls wengi, so we would have poured into her, yani her like the queen she is. Doubts of not doing it right? Yes. Many other times where something can happen with my baby and I'm like, kai, ama ni mimi sifanyi vizuri, kai, ama ni mimi sijamnyonyesha enough, kai, ama ni mimi sijampaka mafuta yenye inafaa, kai, ama ni mimi nimexpose sana tu baridi, kai. Doubts ziko na ni mingi, but mujipat. On my back, I'm like, you know what? You're doing a very good job. Kwenye umefika so far as a first time mom, you're doing a good job.
I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting.
Like health yake iko sawa, na grow tu vizuri, every time tunaenda clinics anaongeza weight vizuri mpaka daktari ananiambia you're doing a good job. Hakuna kitu reaffirming kama hiyo. Ama kama mtu mwenye alimuona akiwa mdogo and then a few weeks later anakuja namuona tena, they're like, what? You're doing a good job, mama. Yeah. So I do have doubts, yes, but at the end of the day I never forget to pat myself for doing a good job. For bringing up a kid is not easy. It's not an easy job. So yeah, mamas out there, at hizo doubts zikikutwanga, you can always look into what you need to improve on, but you're not, I believe hakuna mama, unless kama mwenye akona disorder ama hako sawa, hakuna mama anaweza intentionally anaweza kosa kuangalia mtoto wake. Unajua, everyone wants a healthy baby mwenye growth yake na mwenye their growth and development is proper. How is motherhood so far? A very common question I get, and a common answer to everyone who's asked me is that it's a perfect balance of beautiful and difficult, chaotic. What?
You girl, you just don't know.
I can't explain how those emotions coexist at the same time. Like, I love being a mom. I enjoy being a mom, but sometimes kuna sana sikia kama naweza chizi, kuna times nitalia tu sijui nifanye nini, hata nikiuliza nani nini. Hakuna mtu anaweza nikwamua, mtu anaweza nisaidia. Iko tu ni ngumu tu yani, but I chose this path and so I must. Nitaka kufanya nini? Lay your hair when the sun shines. Okay. I made my bed and so I must lay on it. That is the closest proverb that ningeweka. What? Lay your hair when the... Inasemanga. Family planning is also a common question I was asked, and I was asked what I'm currently using. This is something that you should consult your OB-GYN on if at all you want to go down that path. In the process of consulting on what will work for me, I feel like I'm now ready to do that. My doctor advised me to take as much time to think about it, what I'd want, and when I'd want to have it done. So that's all I can share on matters family planning. Kama hautaki 2 under 2, ama 2 under, is it possible kuwa na 2 under 1? It's possible. I've seen videos on TikTok where mtu yako 6 months na mamake yako pregnant. Imagine. Yo, please, can never be me. So I'm staying on top of that. And yes, I will get some family planning. So about faith, specifically about the church question, will you force your son to go to church? The answer is no. I won't force my son to go to church, but I will introduce him to it mpaka afike age ya kuelewa about God, about faith, about being spiritual. Kama ni concept itambamba, well and good. Kama ni concept hatataka ni interfere nayo, you do you, boy. Okay? Bora tu asilete ushingri ama practices hazieleweki kwa nyumba yangu. That I won't allow, but I'll let it be known that I believe there is a God who exists, na ndio mwenye ametufikisha kwenye tuko so far. I'll just pass down what was passed down and what my mom continues to pass down on to me. Basically, faith is a foundation. It's not to be forced. Career, of course, I got a question on career. Is psychology the right career? I did psychology. I'm a psychologist by profession, but I think nitaacha kusema hivyo just I practice. But nataka ku practice eventually, so I'll get into it. People are now embracing mental health more. So yes, psychology is a good career. Ukijua tu vile utajipanga, rooms to put yourself into, how to network, like with other psychologists, a branch of psychology that you want to dwell in, because ni more options ziko. So just know what direction you'd want to go into. Kama ni psychiatry, kama ni counseling, market iko. And again, no career is perfect and alignment matters. Unaweza kulifanya hapo psychology and it's not for you. Sadly, inaweza kwa tu ulifanya, you loved it in the beginning, but mahali katikati ukaanza kupenda kitu ingine. So just follow what you feel aligned or inclined to. Usiforce pia. Kama una feel haingiani, usiforce. Look for something else or do what you currently feel aligned to. Okay, na the end of the day, kama uko na skill, kama uko na paper, inaweza kuja kukuokolea, certificate that is, inaweza kuja kukuokolea some other time in future. So about self-development, and this is what I'll close with, the questions I got: balancing growing a home and self, how to keep momentum. So here's the thing, different seasons require different focus. Like I said, nimefika phase flani kwa life yangu yenye I really have to prioritize my son because uni mtoto mdogo, so a lot goes into, or rather a lot contributes to their proper growth and development. That is 1. 2, kuna mimi pia. I'm a mom, sawa, but that doesn't mean ati sasa nijisahau who I was or who I am about. Acha chani kusema who I was. Na sipendi kuiview as a loss of who I was. If anything, I am evolving. I'm advancing to the next phase of my life. Na niko hapa sasa. So ni find to a proper balance. In as much as I'm taking care of my son, I also need to take care of myself. I also need to balance the two. Otherwise, nitajisahau na nitasleki na nitaanza kukaa sijui aje. Mimi njisahau. Hapana, siwezi kubali. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bado najiprioritize pia mimi. I'm pouring into my own cup, I'm feeding my interest, doing also what pleases me, what I love doing, once in a while when I get time. Mdogo mdogo too. And once my baby grows, once he's more independent, I can always go back to doing what I love fully. Sahi ni mdogo mdogo when I get time, but ipo siku when itafika na nitarudi to being the Chris baby. I'm still Chris baby. Yuko. Yuko. How to keep momentum? Niko na mtoto lazima akule, lazima nyumba yangu ikuwe steady, lazima nilipe nani wake, lazima nilipe bills. So momentum si tafadhali, ni lazima tu. That's my daily motivation. I want a trust fund baby. So momentum ni lazima tu. Najisurround na watu watani encourage time yenye na feel niko low ama time yenye na feel sina your psych. So that's really really important. Your circle, the people around you, people to keep you in check. Na pia wewe mwenyewe usisahau your goals or your ambitions or what you want to achieve in life. So you keep the momentum going. Sasa kama mimi, you guys are also my motivation. I have to keep on doing this to entertain you because that's what I chose to do, to keep my socials active, to keep my accounts growing, engaging with you guys. Thank you so much for that motivation and for the encouragement. Kwanza special thanks and shout out to guys who keep in, who check in on me, like, hey, wewe umetuserve sana pale YouTube, pale Red App, give us something, you know. It really feels nice to have such people around. Again, you don't have to burn out while at it. Take breaks. Hey, kama saa mimi nikifeel tu hivi nimechoka hivi kidogo, I take a break. Even from my baby, nikifeel kama niko a bit overwhelmed, I like take some time to myself to just chill and relax. Unajua ndo handle kama niko na makasiriko, kama niko na uchovu mwingi, and then gotta have like enough help so they can always take care of him while I take of myself, so that I can be the best or the better version or the version that he deserves, the cool mom, the active mom that he deserves. I prioritize rest a lot because that also changias into my productivity. If I'm well rested, I'm able to work or to produce good results. I'm able to make such videos. Kuja hapa nikiwa cranky kama nimechoka, hiyo video haingebamba. Amgeniambia. So I think I've covered pretty much everything that I was asked on my Q&A. Matters to do with friendship, motherhood, starting over, family planning, career, self-development, and I hope nimewajibu. And in case you'd want me to address something else, feel free to engage with me pale kwa comment section. Na tutabonga. If there's a topic that you'd want ikwe covered peke yake, feel free to also suggest in the comment section and I will do that. Like, dive deep into that. Thank you so much for sticking till the end of this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Karibu niseme subscribe widely. Yes, subscribe widely. Come to think of it, it's actually accurate to say so. Like, share, and subscribe. Kama nakubamba. And I hope to see you. Naona aje sasa. And I hope to have your attention on my next sit down video. Okay? Until then, bye. Habari zenyu brethren, you know the drill. Katoto kangu kakilala, neza bonga. If you're a new okay. Habari zenyu brethren, I am so happy to be back with yet another sit down video. If you're a returning subscribe, okay. Habari zenyu brethren, I'm so happy to be back on here. No. Habari zenyu brethren, thank you so much. If you are a returning subscriber, unajua kwa nini nawaita brethren, nilikosa. Okay, no.